shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just tryna be safe.
Let's get to sports talk.
Obviously you're excited about the opportunity to play Clemson. What was the level of disappointment of slipping out of the #1 overall seed?
Yeah, we didn't talk about it all that much. We knew if we had to go win the whole thing, we're gonna have to play, everybody, play the best. And so, whether it was LSU, Clemson, or Oklahoma, you got to be able to play the best to go win the national championship. So, we didn't talk a whole bunch about that. We just talked about finishing off this first race, which was the Big Ten championship, and then.
They fell behind. They were looking forward to the playoffs, and they had to wake up against Wisconsin. They want to woke up, they would have lost that Big Ten championship game. That's why they were looking too far ahead for the playoffs instead of worrying about what's in front of them. They know they had to finish this off the right way and get some momentum headed to the playoffs.
Now we have our new challenge ahead of us, and so we already talked about that after the announcement was made, and so now we have all our eyes on Phoenix.
You're the first program ever to win 3 straight outright Big Ten titles. Last 2 years didn't make it into the playoff. How would you describe the level of vindication that's felt in the program for getting into the playoff this time?
Well, it's something we talked about all season. We looked at the schedule, and each individual game we felt like we had a really good chance to win. But when you add up all those games and you look at all those games, it's like what Clemson has to deal with. You're getting everybody's best shot week in and week out, and it's not easy. You got to bring it every week, and so all we did is we took it 1 week at a time.
And let's give time to get Justin Fields healthy, maybe some other players fully healthy, get ready for this playoff game against Clemson. It's a good time to just get everyone 100% and ready to go against the defending champs.
We knew all it took is one game, and we could get thrown out. And so I thought our ability this year to focus, and also our older guys who've been left out the last couple of years, they felt that extra edge to make sure we're in this year.
Hey, Ryan, one thing is, as a first-time head coach, you have experience with Urban Meyer, but I know routine for all coaches is big. How will you come up with your routine to try to get ready for your game now, where you've got some time to catch up and rest up to get ready for the 28th?
Yeah, so, just talked about that now with the team. We're going to let these guys take their finals and rest up a little bit this week. We'll practice this weekend and then kind of get into a game week, leading up to our trip out there, and then give the guys a couple days off, and then we'll meet them out there on Sunday. Once we get out to Arizona, then we'll have a normal game week as we prepare for our game.
They have the offense to compete with Clemson, and they have the defense to slow them down as well. Same thing with Clemson. Clemson had a defense to slow Ohio State offense down. And they have a good offense to compete against Ohio State. It's going to be a head-to-head matchup. It's going to come down to who had the football last. Who can slow each other down. Who defense get out fast and slow their offense down. Can Ohio State defense slow down Etienne? Slow down Trevor Lawrence? Can Clemson defense slow down Justin Fields? Can they slow down J.K. Dawson? Can they slow? It's all about who can slow each other down in this game. Because they both have good offenses. They'll go toe-to-toe.
28th.
And Ryan, as you look at your team and this challenge that's in front of them right now, most of your guys, in uncharted waters, what will you do to make sure you're right at the right emotional pitch come the 28th?
Well, I think, you're in a battle every day to make sure you're maximizing each day. And a lot of it has to do physically, a lot of it has to do emotionally, and a lot of it has to do mentally. And, we're going up against a great opponent. I think offensively and defensively what Clemson's done over the past few years is incredible. They certainly have a great talent, but they're very, very well coached. So we're going to have to, like you said, have a lot of energy and hit a peak when we have that game on Saturday. But more importantly, we got to be ready to execute at a high level because the margin for error will be tiny. So we got to be really on our game as coaches.
They really got to be on the game. You can't get out to the slow start like you did against Wisconsin, because Clemson will take advantage of that if you get out to a slow start. They have to get out to a fast start against this team. They're a different team than Wisconsin. There's a team that's not going to go stagnant and stuck on 21. You have to get to a good start against Clemson. It's the same thing with Clemson. Trevor Lawrence had to get to a good start against this team. Because Ohio State is a good offensive team just like them. Same thing with Justin Fields. 2 young quarterbacks who could will their team to a win.
And as players as we prepare.
Hey, thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more scores, highlights, and